Welcome to CJeanne Clarity podcast, a space to explore your clarity journey from survival to authenticity. I'm CJeanne, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices and thriving after life's challenges. But this just isn't about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique, and you deserve the care and guidance that is right for you. Well, I'm happy to have you here again with me. Today's title of podcast is Loyalty Without Boundaries, when your heart becomes a liability instead of strength. Welcome back to CJeanne Clarity, where we stop performing, start questioning, and finally choosing ourselves. Today we're talking about something that doesn't get called out enough: loyalty. Not the kind that builds connection, but the kind that slowly drains you. The kind where you stay longer, give more, try harder, and somehow still get told it's not enough. If you've ever been made to feel like you're not smart enough, not doing enough, or like you just don't understand things correctly, this episode is for you, because today we're breaking the fog and we're taking your power back. So, we're going to start off with what loyalty turns into when it's unchecked. Empathetic people don't just give loyalty, we invest identity into it. We equate staying with being good, being worthy, being chosen. Loyalty becomes over-explaining yourself, overworking to prove value, staying in misalignment. So, what do we take out of this? Loyalty without boundaries stops being love and starts becoming self-abandonment. I like to expand a little bit on this. I'm somebody who loves to give everything into my work. I'm loyal to my cause. The problem is when we get told when we're at work, at church, in a marriage, in a family, when you're so loyal, but yet it's not enough, right? So what do? We think if we're loyal enough, we're good enough. We see our worth. So we start measuring our lives to how loyal we are. And that's why we don't like micromanagement, because micromanagement, I feel like it's the opposite. They're not believing in your loyalty, and so you get really upset and you think, well, what's going on here? And then we over-explain. So what does over-explaining mean? It's the same dynamics we have after you've been traumatized. So we try to over-explain so much because in our lives we think, oh, if I explain, then people will understand why and where I'm coming from. We overwork to the point that we burn out, and then we get resentful, we get upset, we think, hey, how come they can't enjoy or believe in my work, right? The problem is when we stay, we start misaligning. There's times where I've said, wow, I've totally lost myself just for staying. And I don't think that's something that anybody wants in their lives. We want to be able to give, but not be taken advantage of, you know? So what do? We bring in the boundaries. I know you've heard this in all my podcasts. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And I can't emphasize it enough, because when you don't give those boundaries, you don't enforce them for yourself, then other people take lots of advantage of you. And this is where we get the whole problem of them taking advantage of your loyalty, right? So how manipulation shows up? Intellectual diminishing. Let's see if you've heard this before. You just don't understand. That's not how it works. Makes you question your intelligence. Jeez. You know how many times they've made me think of my intelligence? Think about it. It starts in school. You start thinking, you question, am I really intelligent? You know it. You've been here. You know those math classes, right? Or physics, chemistry, all those other classes that they make you think, am I intelligent? This is the one that I don't like, when they move the goalposts. You improve, they expect changes. You meet standards, new ones appear. It's never enough. It's always like, oh, well, no, here's the next thing. No, here's the next thing. Oh, no, what you did, we don't even remember you doing anything. Here's the new thing. And it moves, where it is either a promotion, whether it is, yes, I'll be a great spouse, whether it's a family member, yes, you know, don't worry about it. I'll be there for you. You name it, you know. It happens. Those goalposts move so quickly. Then there is the conditional approval. You're valued only when performing. How many? Hands up, man. I know I can't see it. How many of you have felt that you're only valued when you're performing? Heaven forbid you take a break, take a lunch, take a nap, decide, you know what, today I'm not going to church or whatnot, because you want to spend some time with yourself. And now they're saying, oh, well, you took your break too long. Oh, heaven forbid, you were pumping for milk? No, that's not good. Or, oh, what, you were talking to so-and-so? Yeah, but their management, no. I remember at one job, I stood up because my back was hurting tremendously. I mean, tremendously. So I stood up, stretched and everything. Mind you, these were people who would make us stand up and stretch before we started our jobs, because they figured, hey, you're going to be tired. You're going to be working so much. But the moment you did it and it's not under their time, even though you're still listening, even though you're still typing, you're still performing. And I remember this manager saying, oh, do you have a question? I said, no. I said, I'm stretching my back. It really hurts. Mind you, I was pregnant. Oh, she said, well, if you don't have a question, then sit down. And I was like, what? I'm like, did I just hear you? And the thing is I was embarrassed in front of everybody, you know, because I had to be performing like crazy. Then confusion cycles, mixed signals. You don't understand if they're happy with you, confused by you, or angry at you. They keep you moving, and you just don't understand. And praise plus criticism loop, oh my goodness. It goes hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, hot, cold, cold, cold. and then cold forever, and then maybe a little bit of hot. I mean, you hear it. It's the way that they condition you to think that maybe you're just not there. You're not enough, right? So the confusion is not a communication issue. It's often a control strategy. When I found out that this was a way to control you, why? Because you question yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'm not intelligent. Oh, maybe, you know what? I should be just happy that they put their eyes on me and I have a job. How many have you found that thing? Oh, at least you should. I'm just happy I have a job. And you're thinking, did I say that I didn't want a job or that I wasn't blessed by it? I don't think so. But it was their way of saying it. So then that way they put you in your place. It's horrible. Let's see the signs. You're in the fog. You second guess everything you say. How many times have you felt that you have to second guess everything? It's not fun. And then you get things wrong in school. You get things wrong everywhere else. And you're thinking, great, I am dumb. You feel like you're always behind or lacking. Why do you feel behind? Because the amount of work that they've placed on you, not even a robot can do. It's horrible. What are you lacking? You're lacking money, resources, attention, human decency. You over-prepare but still feel wrong. Here's where the OCD comes in. You're thinking, oh no, I forgot this. I better make sure. Oh no, let me read each word. Maybe I missed something. It's horrible. You seek validation before trusting yourself. I think that is the most dangerous one. Because why are you trusting what others have for you when you don't even know them? And even if you did know them, they're not nice, because I'm thinking if they're your tribe, then they're not going to make you feel like crap. So why all of a sudden this issue, you know? Start validating yourself. Trust yourself. And how are you going to do that? By making mistakes. You go, okay, maybe not this way. Nope, not that way. You know? You feel mentally exhausted, but can't explain why. If you're there and you're always thinking, okay, I'm going to fall asleep, and then you think, wait a minute, I need to go to bed. Or you're thinking, I'm always tired. Something's off. You're too stressed, right? So you're not failing. You're functioning inside a system designed to keep you uncertain. You know, I hated this. There's nothing worse than feeling uncertain about yourself. It tears you apart. And you think, oh, okay, maybe it's not that bad. But no. I got done. I got tired. And then I started piecing things together, using pattern recognition. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm being used for my loyalty. So what can we do to break those patterns? Name what's happening. This is confusion, not incompetence. You know, the thing is, I notice is whenever something is confusing, something's off. It's a red flag, hands down. Because as far as like me, I always think in the Bible it says God is not a God of confusion. So to me, if it's confusing, something's off. Stop over-explaining. Your clarity doesn't require their agreement. I think this is one of the hardest ones because you're so used to over-explaining so you don't get in trouble, you don't get hurt, you don't get reprimanded, you get to keep the job, you get to keep the family. It can go on forever, right? But you let yourself down, and that's the hardest thing. Document reality. Write down what was said versus what happened. I believe that journaling is really beneficial for you because guess what? You're putting down all the emotions that have hurt you. But not only that, is later on, if you do have some type of small lapse in your memory, then guess what? You go back there and you're like, oh, yeah, that happened. And you can tell yourself, nope, I'm not going back to whatever place that made me feel this way. Shift loyalty back to yourself. Loyalty equals alignment, not endurance. You got to focus to yourself. We've been told so much that if we focused on ourselves, we were selfish individuals with a big ego. But no, the thing is there's people who actually have that big ego and don't care about humanity. But if you're that loyal person who cares about others, that's not it. And they're just trying to fool you. Test boundaries. Say less, do less, observe reactions. I think that one's important, the observing the reactions, because the thing is we think, oh, if we do this, then they'll want to rectify whatever they've done. They're not going to do it. The thing is, they are who they are, and they're not going to apologize. So it's time for you to become strong and move forward in all of this. So the key line is, the moment your loyalty stops being automatic, your power returns. Yeah, don't give anybody your loyalty just all free and willing. No, you don't need to do that. That's horrible. Be strong. Keep moving forward. So, I would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and comment, on there and say, what is it? Who did what to my loyalty? Or why did I think I owed people like over super abundance of loyalty, And I don't know. I always laugh because I remember seeing something on Instagram, I think it was, or Pinterest. And I remember somebody put on their sign on their back of their work chair and it said, if you want loyalty, go get a dog. It made me laugh because I was like, yeah, you're right. Why would I do that? Okay, let's write our 5 journal prompts. Starting with question 1. Where in my life am I staying loyal out of fear instead of alignment? 2. When was the first time I felt like I had to prove my intelligence or worth? 3. What patterns of confusion keeps repeating in my environment? 4. What would change if I trusted my perception without needing validation? 5. What does healthy loyalty look like to me now? All right, once you have that all written down, let's sit down or lay down, whatever you want to do, and we'll start with our next area of my podcast that I love to give. Let's reclaim our self-trust. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and release. You spend so much time trying to understand others. Now we return to understanding you. Notice where you feel tension, that tightness, that pressure. That's not failure, that's holding too much for too long. Breathe into it. Now imagine a version of you, clear, grounded, not over-explaining. Not overgiving. She doesn't rush to prove. She doesn't shrink to belong. She simply knows. Repeat softly in your mind. I trust what I see. I trust what I feel. I release the need to prove. I return to myself. Let that settle. You're not confused. You were overwhelmed. You're not behind. You were misdirected. And now you're choosing differently. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, open your eyes. If this episode spoke to something you've been feeling but couldn't explain, that's your clarity, not confusion. Start paying attention to where you feel drained, where you feel unsure, where you feel like you have to prove who you are. That's where your next boundary lies. If you're ready to go deeper, share this episode with someone who needs it, and I'll meet you in the next one. This is CJeanne Clarity, and you're finally coming home to yourself.